Hello there and welcome to a new episode of Afterthoughts. My name is Wim Winters and tonight I've recorded the Sonata in B-flat major by Mozart. Kuchelverzeichnis 333. Mozart wrote this sonata in 1783. What I wanted to say about this sonata, and many things to say, but to start with, it's the ornament at the beginning. These small ornaments, which are in the beginning of the 19th century, all written as full 16th notes, and then you would have a sound like this, which is actually beautiful for this sonata. You find very early 19th century editions where this ornament is short or long appoggiatura, Vorschlag, is written as a full 16th note. And I even think that Moscheles, which is one of the most famous pianists of the early 19th century, made a career before Liszt, but he knew Beethoven and he was very much embedded in this old tradition of Mozart and Beethoven. Even in his editions, these ornaments are all written out, if I'm not wrong. Also with the Turkish March, I played it on YouTube like this, but you find many editions where it... So what's... And it's obvious that this is an important decision because it changes the complete melody, actually also a bit of the character of the piece. And I said that I stopped studying this and I have to take it up again, but if you read the sources, then you come to the conclusion, inevitably, that 95% of these ornaments are really long appoggiaturas. I hope the term appoggiatura is right, but long ornaments. So what I told you about the early 19th century editions is correct, actually, if you read the sources. But on the other hand, I think it's much more spicy, so to say, to play the ornament very short. You have the division between long and short appoggiatura. The most of them, as I said, are long. The shorter ones, I think Gottlob Tuck write this really in full, and then you have an incredible, unreadable notation where the Vorschlag is really very short and on the beat. Of course, it's so short that you could say, well, it's inaudible if you play it before or on the beat. If you are interested in this, Neumann, the famous publisher, author, he wrote a very, very important book about Baroque ornamentation with emphasis on G.S. Bach. And he wrote as well a book about Mozart. I have a look in the bookshelf, it's here, and I think it's upstairs. So I could show you. It's here. I can show it to you. It's this one. It's out of print, and I bought it, I think, in a second-hand shop somewhere in the States. It cost really quite a fortune, actually. It's very detailed and very good. And he comes to the conclusion, and he said most people think that all ornaments start on the beat and trills have to start with the upper note. And then he goes further with these appoggiaturas, long and short. He goes directly in the opposite direction, saying that what Immanuel Bach writes about these ornamentations actually maybe not following the traditional, the practice, and that Tuck and other and Leopold Mozart actually just kind of copied that Immanuel Bach. And yeah, he then proves his what he's saying with a lot of music from Mozart, operas, and where he finds inconsistencies in bass parts and soprano parts and all that kind of really very complicated, very cleverly done. So according to Neumann, this ornament must be played like this. And he also says it's impossible to play a short ornament before the beat, on the beat unaccentuated, because every beat has a strong accent. So it needs to be played before the beat. So I don't know. very interesting to read this book of Norman. If you find it secondhand, you have to buy it if it is payable, and it's actually kind of regrettable that it's out of print. They should reprint it. I mean, that is such a lot of work to do. This book about Bach is still and Baroque ornamentation is still in print, but it's very interesting. So I must say that I have had a period actually where I played all these ornaments very long and consistently, until I played the double concert with Miklos, and we played Mozart Sonata in D major for two keyboards. And first concert we played long ornaments, second we played short, he said, and we had kind of interesting discussion. And at the end the conclusion was that Miklos said to me, and I think, yeah, that's a decision. I find it much more enjoyable to play them short. So, and actually, I must say, it most of the time is. So I play it short. Long explanation to tell you why I play it short. I don't have the tutor in my hands, not at all. I actually, and if you study the ornamentation, you give it up. I mean, it's somebody who tells you that he knows, or he or she knows really how it was. It's not so simple. So I made the decision to play it short. However, there are some ornaments that I play long. We maybe pass some of them. What is important in music of Mozart to me is this kind of, and it's actually in all 18th century music, with Bach, but certainly in the classical music, two things. The left hand has a really important, gives structure and framing to all of that, to the rhythm, to the movement, but has also kind of polyphonic counterparts, sometimes very simple. But in the melody, in the rhythm, or in the rhythmical ornamentation, I always look for notes that needs to be emphasized. So with a lot of accents, so that you can get melodies within the ornamentation or within other melodies, and that makes it as if you have a rhythm within a rhythm within a rhythm, and that, for my feeling, that's very pleasant. I give you one example. For instance, here and this page. Left hand. And then right hand has two things. And which is not easy because the left hand continues. The right hand introduces the cadenza and with the trill, which needs to be played unabhängig, independent from each other. Nicely got. Big contrast. This one I make very long. Leopold Mozart writes about long appogiaturas, and he writes them like this. And he says you can't make them long enough. Also here the left hand. Bit out of tune because we had the last part where I didn't resist the feeling of playing really fortissimo on the bass. So other example. So it's not. You actually cannot change it, but doing it like this. But yeah. I think when we enhance that effect, it's much more beautiful. You get a nice. else. If you play, here is this kind of cipher. Don't make the last notes too long, because if you do that, you get this effect. If you make the last note a little bit shorter, they lead to the new beat. Sorry. In the beginning we have the same thing. Listen to this. If I play the melody, it's a quarter note, dotted quarter note, so you can hold it. If you play that like this with the left hand, it's kind of boring. But listen what happens if I play both the left hand. It's very simple, but I make the last note a little bit shorter, and I make every last note of every small ornament, small sentence also a little bit shorter, not on the same time. And then you get a kind of leveling. Listen to it. So you get a kind of separation, which is nice because it makes it, the music gets a little bit of more logical sense. It's understandable. These short sentences. So, ornamentation, difficult. Also, whether the trill has to start with the upper note or the main note, I really don't know. What did Mozart do in the course of his life? I don't know. Beethoven is a little bit more clear, but even then. So, in the middle section, you have very clear that the accentuation is important in the music of Mozart. Listen to this, what happens, beautiful. I think the left hand, the bass makes the drama, and then comes the right hand, articulated. I really think that you can make a lot of color with articulation. Very short, longer. Mozart indicates sometimes bows, which I think obviously is legato. When he doesn't write anything above the note, it can mean, for my feeling, that it is a little bit more articulated. But in this case, I really have a strong articulation, which I think enhances the drama, together with the bass note F. I separate it from the rest of the left hand. And then suddenly you have this real heavy accent on every quarter note, which is listen. This trill short, or you can make it long. Also here, make the left hand not too short, not too long. Then that gives the dynamic. Don't wait with the right hand on the left hand, don't do this. He writes a quarter note, but how could he write the accentuation on the F going to the E flat? He writes a bow, which means the second note should be so short, but how short? You have to listen, but the left hand shouldn't influence the right hand, which makes it difficult. Where the left hand gives the this is clear melody, is clear ornament. questioning. But you have this figure. So I definitely would make this longer. I wouldn't play this like this. And then goes to the exposition again. Then, or something else that's really important, and that shows that you have to find this polyphony, this melody within the ornaments or within the figures. It's also in the exposition, of course. So you have here this. Actually, what you write is. But it's clear that you have to hold this B flat longer. Because when you continue, and you have this. There it's separated from each other, so it's clear that you want to have this. That's how you have to hold it. I do the fingering here. I take just this simple, and I have I play this with 4. It is tricky. Any fingering. And don't be afraid of making accents. Okay. Middle part, yeah, I mean, we talked about Beethoven, which is opening the way for the 19th century, but what do you think of this chord? This is incredible. There he goes. This is all evolving towards the 19th century, where in the end, César Franck and Wagner and Liszt, they eternally modulated. And that started with Bach. I mean, the partitas of Bach we talk about that later. So middle section, that's, what to say about that? Take your time if you want to take your time, and within this beat. Here, the orchestra is giving all the freedom to the soloist to make. But it comes on 2 feet again. Listen, I can do it in arpeggio. You have this whole sentence, little bit rotundo, and now just the arpeggio makes everything right again. If I play sentences like this, which seems to be very free with a lot of rubato, there's still this pulse, but I really that stretches as much as I can, but I strongly feel the beat. So actually what I did is going a little bit faster, but I have to hold it back at the end just to be in time. Comes the arpeggio. It's very late. Passages with a lot of chromatic and modulations and harmonies. You take your time and go look for the borders just to be out of tempo. But listener will feel that you go to somewhere, and then what does that, of course, Mozart. I make it long here. Don't ask me why, I just find it beautiful. You can play it short. I mean, there's really not one solution for that, and it's one of the strange things of that time. That how did they play their ornaments? It's what Bach actually said. I mean, we know a lot, but we don't know even more. Then the last part, allegretto grazioso. Is that an alla breve or not? No, it's not. I don't think so, because there are too many 16th notes. You have a clear accent, of course, because you have the alla breve sign. I think it's more the mesure 4 temps vite, so the fast 4/4 bar, it's like an allegro notation. But on the other hand, the 16th notes have more like an ornamentational value. They are not really structural. So the tempo of this is really close to an alla breve, I think. Allegretto grazioso is more the character. So I really feel this piece in 2 beats per bar, which of course fastens the tempo a little bit. I did play it also another tempo like this. It's actually nice for the character, but then to my feeling maybe it's the music is here, the character is a little bit more rough, more joyful, more playful, and with more dynamic contrasts. So I chose for a little bit faster tempo, not exaggerate, because the 16th notes must be fluent. So also here. Make the contrast with the slur. Articulation. It's like the orchestra is coming in and just repeat. Shouldn't play this too strict. I mean, it's beautiful. If Mozart would have wanted just a faster note value than he write, what could he do? He has not the option to write, I want you to play this like an improvised ornamentation, and I think you should. Also, then the 16th notes, of course, are not easy. But don't forget the left hand, that's the important thing. Okay, and then you have this beautiful cadence, which is really innovating, I think, in a sense. In tempo. Evolution of this cadenza comes really enhance the accent. And do it independently. The left hand independent from the right hand. Right hand is this beautiful this melody, little bit. And then when he comes back, and then I close. There's the final actually of the finale of the piece. You can even do a little bit more, like. So don't say anymore that the clavichord is not capable of playing this large music with very strong chords. I think it's wonderful to play that music on an instrument like this. And again, not a discussion about for which instrument he wrote this music, but no doubt that the clavichord is really capable of giving this music accents that are difficult to give on the pianoforte. And vice versa, the pianoforte gives new things to this chord that the clavichord cannot, and that's the interesting thing that we can choose. And it's very 21st and 20th century actually that we want to put everything in boxes. Where in the 18th century, that music was living at the time. They didn't have to ask questions for themselves how to play the ornaments or on which instrument they could play the music. They lived in the time where the music was made, and they were the ones who made decisions without questioning themselves. And I think it's important to study all the sources, really important. Certainly if you want to pretend that you have a kind of voice in this authentic performance practice, then you must take this serious, but at the end you have to make decisions, and it's not all clear, it's not one-to-one. It's a very large grey zone, and I like that very much because that gives the options to make different decisions once in a while. But anyway, for me, I feel very much that they have to be explicable to myself at least. Okay, that was a rather long vlog, but so many things to talk about. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you you could take something from it for your personal life or personal practice. Don't hesitate to ask questions, and don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. We see each other next time again, which will be probably with my own instrument, and maybe we do a little bit an experiment with music of Bach. See you next time. Bye.